It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Megan and I are off for a few weeks, so we are sharing some of our favorite reactions that have until now only been available on our Patreon. And when I thought, what are some of the highlights that have come from the first half of 2026 over on Patreon? And one of the highlights was our fan favorites from February, where we counted down some of our favorite Oscar winning music. We had a mix of original songs that got on our countdown, as well as symphonic scores. And I had never really sat down and paid attention to a whole bunch of symphonic music from Lawrence of Arabia until I sat down and did just that with this video, and I have excerpted that part of it for y'all here today on YouTube. So I am happy to share my reaction to a symphonic suite from Lawrence of Arabia. Next up is a portion, actually a pretty decent portion of these music from Lawrence of Arabia. Burkhard D sent this one in. Thank you very much. The music is from Maurice Jarre, and it's from the 1962 movie Lawrence of Arabia, one that I have not seen. Sorry. Yeah, I haven't gone back and taken a peek at that classic movie. This is a little longer than we normally allow into fan favorites, but the fact that it was so well put together as a suite of some different themes from this movie score, I accepted it through. So I think it's going to be really great to hear. Maurice was actually the third option that they went to as to find a composer for this movie. He was not their first choice, their third choice. And by the time that they got to him and he said yes, he only had 6 weeks to compose the score, and he ended up needing to conduct it as they were recording it um, for the movie. And the other thing that I want to note, many of us know and love the music of Jean-Michel Jarre. This is his dad. Yeah, Jean-Michel's dad, Maurice Jarre, in 1962, wrote Lawrence of Arabia. I think it was relatively early on in his. I think he had done movie scores before, but nothing this big, and came through with what many call one of the great film scores of all time. And I'm somewhat familiar with the music, but not very. It's been a while since I heard any of these themes. So let's sit back and enjoy about 14 minutes of this score with a suite of themes from Lawrence of Arabia, composed by Maurice Jarre. Here we go. Starts with the drum solo. It's got some color, doesn't it? I don't even know much about this film. It's a war film, right? World War One? I don't know much about it at all. Wow. Major 1, minor 4. That's cool. A little bit of flat too. Strings and horns doubling that lead melody line. Repeat the theme. That was, it's not 1 to flat 2, it was 1 to minor flat 7. That's cool. I need to remember that trick. Sounds like this make me pretty secure in my recollection that it is a military film. There's not many other places that you hear featured fife and drum. Unless it's a parade. Big percussion, right? They're really active. The early part to the middle of the 20th century was really when the percussion section made as big an impact on orchestral music as it has for the entire history of orchestral music. It's kind of the last big section. To get expanded and kind of massaged and played with in the orchestra. Wow. Then into like a major triumphant thing. We go from like diminished chords and crunchy stuff to something more expansive and celebratory, you know? New tonic. Yeah, that's a... I'll figure it out at some point. Play it again. some Bernstein in that too. Just parallel dissonance on that melody. I'm gonna write a melody. I'm just gonna write this hanger on. Just go right with it. You want to inflict some angst, but your melody is relatively straightforward. Give it a burr. Just put it right behind it. And all of a sudden it goes like major. Now a different key than we were just before. I'm also pretty sure that my guess of World War I was correct, because the style of military band music that he's including here reminds me more of the early 20th century than World War II. Prepared to get a full military march. In a minor key. Now back to major. So what's the next part of the suite? Some very dissonant intervals happening, featuring a nice tritone jump in the melody there. Yeah. Some of the tricks we can use to infer a sense of impending danger or doom. The tempo underneath can be off kilter, right? And these sounds that don't play nice together. interpret as really signifying conflict or destruction or some sort of discord. Something ain't right, you know? Piano used as part of the percussion section. Yeah, half the band is playing like repeated sounds, the other half is moving, and it just creates natural dissonance. Those tones play better together. You know, it might even be relatively sad, but at least we're not quite in as much peril with sounds like this. Okay. I think this is our last theme. Do we get a parade at the end? Okay. That's how they end it. It makes me want to see the movie. Whenever I hear programmatic music or music that was specifically built to go with another element of art or storytelling, telling you a specific story, you know, that we're agreeing on, it makes me want to dive further into the story. I love a good story. What can I say? Um, that last little bit was a really interesting hybrid of a sort of military band style piece kind of melding into the general sound that he was getting for just regular life outside of that. And what a sound it was. It's really impressive. Big orchestra. It's amazing how much money the um the studios, especially the big studios, invested in their musicians. Without computers, without AI, without any of that stuff, with real people having to score it by hand and play it and all of that stuff, it was a golden era of really getting the absolute the best people available that could provide you with music, they typically got hired, you know? And it's amazing. There was some of that sounded that reminded me of Stravinsky. There were parts of it that reminded me of Copland. There were parts of it that reminded me of Bernstein. There were parts of it that reminded me of John Philip Sousa. And it must be a heck of a story, heck of a movie. I need to see it. Maybe tomorrow when I have time. Well, I still haven't seen the movie, y'all, but before too long, hopefully, we will get to it. It's just great to be able to share this this movie music with all of you. Back in February, when we heard all of this great music, it was just one of my favorite countdowns that we've done, because we got a mix of really great original songs and scores, and I've shared a few of those where copyright allows here on YouTube. But if you want to see the entire countdown, it's available on our Patreon. The information is below in the description. We we invite you to come over and be a part of our community on Patreon. It's a wonderful community, and we enjoy talking about music of all sorts, and all of y'all are welcome. So that is all for us today. It's been wonderful to share some music from a classic Hollywood film, Lawrence of Arabia. Thanks, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.